Evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another amazing Friday night lined up for you tonight. I'm with you in the box as always is Steph. And before I start going on before round 7, I do apologise I wasn't there for round 6 in Monaco due to commitments outside, and I do apologise I wasn't there to live and stream it for you guys. Recap for you, it was around Monaco for round 6. And yeah, I do apologise for the noise background there for you. CSR Hamilton came out as the race victor on that one through Monaco, where there's also accidents and galore, and the barriers are right close to each other. And results were there all very chaotic, but everyone did pull through, maybe for a few retirements. So then, the points for the drivers' standings as it stands for round 6 then. So got Spiker on top with 90 points there, still leading the way with Gorton second with 10 points behind him in second place with 80 points. Got Hamilton in third with 56 points, Lambo in fourth with 53, CG in fifth with 46. Steve Guyanel, who's retired from the league, in sixth place with 43. Got Plaster there in 7th with 29 points. Got Kieran in 8th with 20, alongside John with Mays as well for 8th place. Technique in 10th with 19 points. Maximus in 11th with 18. Also joined there with Darren Sinclair as well. Ollie P in 13th with 16 points, with Poe in 14th with 15 points. Also joined there with Reed Nation. 16th place there we've got Clifford Red with 12 points. We've got Fredo there in 17th with 10, and we've got Gulliskirt there in 18th with 2 points there. So that is your driver standards there from round 6 then. And with the constructors, the McLaren's still up there on top with 108 points. Force India in second with 99, Renault in third with 85, Red Bull in fourth with 72, with the Mercedes in fifth with 66, Haas are in sixth with 43, the Ferraris are seventh with 39, with Sauber in eighth with 32, Williams there in ninth with 18th, and the Toro Rosso is still at the bottom there with 0 points in 10th place, and yet to score a point this season. So then, that is your standings there for as of round 6. And we have got one new face there joining us with the league. Also say welcome back to the league. There is Alan K 1985. Now Alan used to be representing the TTG name. Obviously he's back in here this season, just to prove himself. Hopefully to be back in the league full times. So welcome back there to Alan K, and hopefully he'll do well for round 7 tonight and beyond. Got Jay Ricketts there joining us as well in the Friday League. Welcome to him as well. Obviously he races in the TTL League, and for a job his name in there to join us for the Friday League, so I hope he does well as well for round 7. Also Light E there, also part of the TTL, also joining us as a reserve. So welcome to him for the Friday League, and hope he does well as well for round 7. So then, as we've got about 15 races tonight, so looking pretty good and feisty there tonight, so expect some performance in galore. Right then, so the history around Canada. Started off around in the 70s, half street circuit and half man-made circuit, so home to the groundhogs, also the suicidal seagulls as well. Either by the terms of the suicidal seagulls, you just got to look in within 2014, 2015, possible 2016, possible 2017, roughly around that gap. The seagulls were pitched out on turn 1 with Vettel and Hamilton battling out. Vettel took avoiding action to avoid them. Hamilton took advantage of Vettel's avoidance and got the pace back from him. But Canada itself, it's an amazing track. Weather conditions varies here and there. Just got to look into the 2011 season, where we had the race, which was a wet race, which lasted longest ever distance of 4 hours in the F1 Grand Prix, where it had a red flag for about at least 2 hours worth to make sure the rain's eased to finish off the race. And also, back in its day, we had the Gilles Villeneuve winning on his home turf in his maiden voyage as well in the race. So, the first Canadian to race on this track, and obviously to win on his own soil, hence why the circuit has named itself Gilles de Villeneuve Montreal. And as over the years, it has some kind of track modifications on it as well. The main back straight used to be an actual fast chicane itself, not as a straight, so now its back section is like absolutely straight. Cars can reach up to a max of like 210, even possible 215, depending on the aero setup. So, everything to look forward to. Now, obviously, the main action points, which I will discuss through qualifying as we come through the season session start there. Wow! So, I'll explain it all through the action points there for you once we get through into qualifying, and also a track on board, with hopefully the first driver out on track. Now, obviously, everyone watching the stream there, start making your predictions for the top 3 for qualifying, and also along with anyone who gets pole position. Guess it right, kudos to you. Fortunately, not rewarding any prizes, they're just reporting reward you of your guesswork and predictions. But anything can happen around Canada. Tyre choices, we've got the Hyper Softs, Ultra Softs, and the Super Softs. So it's a very aggressive attack on tyres. So it's up to drivers to make sure they pick the right strategy for the race in particular, especially if it's 50%er. So then, entering qualifying, 18 minutes around this amazing track, and a lot of history behind it. Now the question is, who will be the first one to go out on track? Whilst all the drivers are still setting up the cars and getting everything all prepped up for qualifying, along with the race strategy, as we can hear engines nicely roaring. Now which team? Oh, there's 2 teams coming out. Looks like it's a 7 down one end. So obviously Technique is out, but along with a Salva who's going to be out on track first. So I'd like to know who that is coming out on track first. And it is got a skirt there. Let's just stick on board with this one, as we can hear the better sound of the engine. So Canada has 3 DRS zones. Got is just approaching one of them already, which will be roughly around about now. The other 2 will be the usual spots around the back straight and after the little chicane with the Wall of Champions afterwards. With the conditions as it is at the moment, nice and sunny, no sun or rain so far, but forecast can be different. So they can go literally on board. We've got a skirt then run a lap. The engine's going to bug me for the whole entire lap, but we'll get through it anyway. So approaching the last chicane. Get that right, you'll be fine. If not, you're in the World of Champions. DRS is open for the 3rd DRS zone. And got skirts over the line. The action zone will be at turn 1 here, which will be, you see it, overtaking points. Into turn 2. Got a skirt then missing the apex on both of them, which may compromise them a little bit. Heading up into turn 3, another positively overtaking zone. And in turn 4, minding the wall, don't make a mistake in today, which you didn't, so happy days. Into turn 5, long right hander. Braking zone into 6, and then also 7 as well. Crucial, get it right. And now we've got into heading down towards turn 8 with the assisted help with DRS. Got a skirt then just keeping within the middle. Now braking into turn 8 and along into turn 9. Again, nice tidy section there, heading down towards turn 10. There is a big car up ahead, hope you're not getting away. The old classic hairpin, another action zone for overtake. Getting kicked a little bit wide, but maintains performance. Now getting a tow from the car in front with his second DRS zone. And stay there, keeping out of the way. Nicely job. Now he's got to figure out his braking points heading up to the last chicane. Courage to get this area right, or is he in the World Champions? Or hits the wall there, not as he wants to. But guys, they're coming across the line now, and it's a 109.4, which is the target speed there for everybody on the field. Alan K though goes into P2, was P2, now into P3, 1 minute 10. Maximus there going with a 109.2, whilst Hamilton there laying down even more of a big marker, 109.4 there for the Red Bull driver. Whilst Fredo goes even faster with a 108.8, impressive there for the Ferrari driver. So Hamilton sets the lap time, then Fredo responds even quicker, so hopefully expect the lap times there come down even more quicker. Technique there, looks like on a flyer there, and also Jay as well. Jay's coming around the hairpin there. Stick on board with him for the meantime. DRS is active, nice long straight. It's now got to pick out its braking point. Crucial to get it right, otherwise you get it wrong over the chicanes. You got to invalidate your lap or even in the World Champions. Scrapes the wall there, but just gets away without no damage. Very crucial, and oh, it looks like he's slowing down. There's a 109.6 there for Jay. Though he could go quicker unless he's just teasing us with his outright pace there. We do not know. Meanwhile, that's all going on. Damien, they got 1 minute 11.9 there for Damien. And also help if I have the tyres fitted there so we can see what's going on as well. Bad report there for me. So, top 4 so far out there on Hypers. Alan K, Damien are out on Ultras. Technique out there with Hypers along with Gork. Clifford Red though going on a set of Super Softs. Now this has been interesting for Clifford. Go even more longer in the race. Maze there out selecting Ultras. Whilst Lighty, Spike, Ollie and CG are planning to go out on Hypers. As I said that, CG will revert to go to Ultras. So a wide choice of tyres then for everyone using it at the moment. Meanwhile, Spike out there on his hot lap at the moment on Ultras. No, on Ultras, sorry, Hypers. Going above the Season 1 World Champion. Hitting the wall there, that is not going to do his lap anytime any good. Hoping no damage out that for the Season 1 Champion. Pushing his car to bare limits, even scraping the wall. Push to get the hairpin right. Nice and tight. Looks like I can keep an apex, but gets away with it. Now it's a nice long back straight here. Now thinking about his braking points. Hopefully by the on Jamaica board. And instead he dives into the pits, so that's Spike into the pits. Often not to set a lap. So then at the moment then we've got Fredo there out on top in P1 with 108.8, with Hamilton second, 109.1. Got a skirt in third with 109.4. Jay out there in fourth with a 109.6. Maximus in fifth with a 109.9. Anna Kay in 10th, sixth with a 1 minute 10.0. And Damien in seventh with a 1 minute 0.4. So that's your top 7 there. That currently said lap time there. And obviously Technique got Clifford, Red, Maze, Lighty, Spike, Ollie P and Siege yet to set a lap time. Though still plenty of time left in the session. They just gone underneath the 11-minute mark. So presuming the drivers there that haven't set lap time just waiting for the track conditions to come a little bit more in their favour. Letting everyone else lay down the rubber for them to get the optimal pace they can get out of it. Whilst what's going on, there's a yellow flag in sector 3 which can kindly disappear there, so that's happy days on that one. So at the moment, the guy's up there on his out lap there, just warming up his tyres. Meanwhile, got on board with potential pole sitter so far, Fredo there. Whilst I did say that, Hamilton there just responds with a 1 minute 8.1. So he's given Fredo something to answer for. He's up to him to see if he can respond to it. See as the throw driver does. Oh! That's Fredo retiring. Now, he hit the wall. Looks like he hit the wall. Yes, he did. He hit the wall on the exit of turn 9, which is a crucial if you made a mistake. And there goes his front right. So Fredo, pushing his car a bit too much, has paid the price for the walls, which is the issue around with Montreal. Push your car too much and you'll be in the wall for sure. Got then in the meantime, got a 1 minute 8.7 there. Slots himself into P2. Just need to find another 6 more attempts to see if we can beat Hamilton, but there's a good lap time there for Gort. Lighty with a 1 minute 9.2 there. Good lap time there so far for the Ferrari driver. Jay with a 1 minute 9.6. Expecting hopefully to improve that lap time so far. So at the moment 10 drivers there name themselves up on the list of lap times. Still waiting for a response from Clifford, Mays, Spike, Ollie and Sage. Whilst I said Clifford to respond, he sets a 1 minute 9.1 there on a set of ultras. Gets himself in the top 5 there with a set of ultras. That is an impressive lap time there for Clifford. Might be a little bit different on the Delta, but that is a good representative lap time there. And as it does that, it scrapes the wall as well. You don't want to be doing that too much. Siege then going out on a set of Super Softs with the hardest compound going. See what he can do for the reigning world champion of season 2. A little bit of wobble coming out of turn 5 there, but I said turn 5, so turn 7, sorry, but gets away with it. Siege will be literally looking for a good result here. Not had the best starts of the season so far for the reigning world champion of season 2, but hopefully he's making amends to it and close the gap down to the top. Still plenty of time in the season to do so, and looks like he's just easing off there, and he decides to pull into the pits. So obviously just getting a feel of the track here. But he's then still in the pits then. Damien meanwhile comes back out on track. Got us getting meanwhile still going out on those lap times. No, I'm not sure if he's currently on the lap at the moment, but he's definitely pushing his car to its limits. Everything up into full mixture, including energy deployment. See what the South driver can do. Now down the back straight. Looking for his reference point to brake. And again over chicane, nicely taking it. All scrapes the wall there for good measure. Not what you want to be doing all the time. You don't want to be losing the wheels out of that, but whilst pushing his car for a risky business, gets himself up into P5 with the lap time of 1 minute 8.9. Not bad lap time there for Skirt. So with his tyre life of that extent, you don't really want to be starting out on that. And he pulls off to the end of the track there and retires for the Severson. So that is Skirt there, thinking that's the best he can do. And Damien B has retired. So Damien B has retired there, out in P11. Though he does have left himself with 3 choice of tyres, but if he's got pace behind him, he's going to have a bit of a tough time getting through the pack from that back end of the grid, depending on what the outcome of the weather is during the race. So then we're obviously currently at the moment with your top 10. We've got Hamilton up there on top with a 1 minute 8.1. Got them in second with a 1 minute 8.7. Technique third with a 1 minute 8.850. Fredo fourth with 1 minute 8.884. Got in fifth with 1 minute 8.925. Jay is in sixth with 1 minute 8.984. Clifford in seventh with 1 minute 9.1. Lighty with 1 minute 9.2 in 8th place. Annika in 9th with 1 minute 9.7. Maximus there with 1 minute 9.920. And Damon B in 11th with 1 minute 11.4. So those are the current people out there currently out on track at the moment, who set lap times at the moment. Spike meanwhile is currently out on track. Oh, Mays opted not to do qualifying, so Mays is retired. Opted says tired. Meanwhile, we're currently watching Spike come across the line, yet to set lap time, and where is it going to be? Currently lap invalid, so he's got to go round again to set lap time. So he'll be pushing hard on them set of ultras to get himself a good decent lap time out there for Spike. Still got plenty of time to do so, as long as he's got fuel in the car in order to get him enough around the track along with his energy. Like they're still in P8, doing his debut for TTFL as a reserve. ODP 9th, or should I go down into 10th. Looking for a good decent result. And Clifford Red there goes into P8 there with 1 minute 9.1 and also decided to opted to retire. So hopefully he can hang out for P8 whilst he's being retired. Top 3 yet still in the pits at the moment. They were pretty sure we can see them out as we come out, whilst we see ODP there just hit the wall there for good measure. Spike then also coming into the pits. Now it's crucial for him to get in the pits and get straight back out again. With the amount of time he's got left, he can still do it. As long as the South Korea quickly getting it sorted out. Jay's currently out there in P6, out on the track on a brand new set of Ultras, or Hypersofts. Hoping to get a decent lap time for the next couple of... Siege, meanwhile, currently out on track. Not as pushing as he wants to, looks like he's coming in on his in lap. Which he does so. So Siege is in the pits in P7. Hopefully get back out on track. Meanwhile, as everyone's into the pits besides Jay, first person out of the top 3 out on the track is Technique Gaming. He's hoping to set a marker to chase down Hamilton's lap time, or getting nearby it. Hamilton's out on track, knowing that he's got to defend pole position all his might to start on pole. Lighty, meanwhile, has retired from the session from P9. So it gives opportunity there for like the likes of Ollie P, Alan K and Maximus there trying to jump Lighty and Clifford. Got meanwhile is currently out on the lap at the moment. Pushing his Force India to its bare limits, and although he's got a little bit of track ahead of him, looks like it's Maximus on the out lap. Hopefully he keeps out of the way, which he does so. So Gort's got a nice clear track coming out the hairpin. Now pushing the almighty Force India down the straight. Still got plenty of time to do another lap if he decides to have a mock up, but gets through the last couple of sections nice and cleanly. And where's this with Got goes with a 1 minute 8.3. Now does he opt to push again? Meanwhile, it's Technique Gaming also out on the hot lap as well, so we're keeping an eye on Technique. Heavy lock up into the hairpin, not what he wanted, especially if he says a lap time on them. That will probably end up scrubbing his front right and also causing a flat spot. not ideally what you want. But anyway, the Technique's still pushing on as we stand. Coming around the last section, especially the hairpin there. Jay retires in the mid-time. Technique hits the wall. But how much time has he lost from it? He's still keeping far right. And there's a 1 minute 6 there, 1 minute 8.6 there for Technique. And that will be him out of qualifying then as he hits the wall. Hamilton then meanwhile coming over the line. Well, lap time marker he sets. He doesn't improve, but he still holds provisional P1 as it stands. Ollie P then out on the lap at the moment on a fresh set of Ultras, Hypersofts. And he's opted to abort the lap itself. Meanwhile, looking on Spike, yet to set lap time. Come through the last couple of sections now. Now, where will this place Spike? Coming over the line. There's a P9 there for Spike with a 1 minute 9.1 on a set of Super Softs into the top 10. So, great drive there from Spike to get into P9. So that will leave then Hamilton then in P1 there for the Canadian Grand Prix. So then Hamilton there on pole. He'll be joined with the Gort next to him on the front row in P2. Second row of the grid, we've got Technique Gaming joined with Fredo there in P4. Got a Scout in P5 there with Jay in P6. Siege in 7th, will be joined with Clifford on the fourth row of the grid there in P8. Spike there getting himself into P9 there with Light E next to him for company. Ollie P 11th with Maximus in 12th with him. Anna K 13th with Damien B with 14th. And Mays will start at the back, yet not setting a lap time. But anyone in below the top 10 will be setting the tyres, entire section of their own strategy of their own choice. Whilst the top 10 will have to start with the tyres they're qualified on. If you guess your top 3 there, congratulations to you all. Now is another fun games and guess your top 3 for the race and potential race winner, and also your driver of the day as well. But as we can see here, we've still got nice sunny skies over in Canada. We've still got bits of cloud around, so we do not know if there's rain looming nearby or rain in the air. If it does, we'll pull out a nice excitement there for the race. Now, as we just currently wait for your drivers there to literally sort out the race strategy, get everything all sorted. But with Canada though, tensions all build up and everything's all go for us, so we go around with the formation up then. Just get everything up with all including the tyres, stats and everything. So then everyone in the top 10 had to qualify on the tyres they qualified on. So obviously Hamilton got Technique, Fredo got a Skirt, and Light E will be qualified on the Hypers. Jay, Siege and Clifford will be on the Ultras, and Spike will be starting on a set of Supers. Now obviously Ollie P, Maximus, Alan K and Damien are on the Super Sauce, whilst Maze has opted to go on a set of Ultras. So then Hamilton out on pole then. Great qualifying for him. Hoping to convert that into a race win. He's got the likes of Gort behind it with 2 4 cylinders of Gort and Technique right behind him in hot pursuit. So keep an eye on the 2 4 cylinder boys. They're hoping to make some upsets around there. Fredo with a good qualifying and good show of pace as well. Mingling up with the top 3 there. Glasgow with his good qualifying position so far, up in P5. He also got a good result here out in Canada. Spike played long ball, going on a set of Super Softs. Keep an eye on him, his progress up the field might cause an upset along with the top runners. But his brain rival is also Siege as well, so it's vital if he gets ahead of Siege and make his way up through the field. So then everyone lining up on the grid, ready for Season 3, Round 7 around Montreal. So then just literally waiting up for everybody. So here we go. 3, 4, 5 lights and lights out. And away we go in Montreal. What's the start like? Technique there, a little bit scrubbing off the line, but gets away with it. Got there with a good start there, going side by side with Hamilton. Technique going around the outside. Doesn't make the move stick between the two Force India boys. And the guy meanwhile holds on to P2 as it stands at the moment. Technique though goes round the outside and cuts the corner. Squeezes out his teammate. Very crucial there not to both collide and collect up each other. Meanwhile, we've got a battle there with Fredo in the background there. Get overtaken by Jay here, going around the outside there. And Siege in the meanwhile is coming out round behind him as well, making it possible 3 wide. Forcing the boys still squabbling it out. Fredo still holding on position against Jay. Siege is there watching this battle unfold at the moment as we stand. Hamilton meanwhile making a storming start, getting the 2.3 second gap between the squabbles at the moment. Meanwhile, the Force India boys still getting hammer and tongs against each other. Got still hangs on as it stands. Oh, a little bit of contact there with the Force India boys, but they just get away with it. Literally pushing the limits already, and it's only just lap 1. You want to calm it down, boys. You've got a long race ahead of you. And the God there just takes P2. Jay though with a fantastic line as it stands. Hamilton over the run, spin at 16 whilst there's contact into the World Champions. Someone's broken the front wing. Jay and Fredo there going side by side for a battle for P4 here. Meanwhile, there's a battle in the background there for Clifford and Siege. Clifford there getting himself up into P6 and Siege down as a 7th. Both on set tyres, so. Meanwhile, the Force India boys are still squabbling it out at the front here. The squabbling's cost them 3 seconds so far to Hamilton's. The Hamilton's there out leading the way already. Start he wanted. Meanwhile, Fredo there getting a poor exit out turn 9, head down turn 10. Jake going down the inside around turn 10. Doesn't make the move stick. Ooh, almost close there on contact, but they both get away with it. Jay takes P4 away from Fredo. Though Fredo's not giving up now, still side by side. Clifford's watching in the background, waiting for them two to make a mistake. And Jay slots in the front there, Fredo there. So Jay up into P4, Fred down to P5. Hamilton sets fastest lap of 1:11.7. Clifford meanwhile is literally on the back of this squabble with Fredo and Jay Ricketts, whilst as we stand, Ollie P's in the pits. Possibility of front wing damage. Don't know, wasn't sure if it's him, and he made contact on the wall. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit more squabbles at the back here. Got Light here and got a skirt then. Full on the back of Siege as well. Siege doing okay so far. Though starting to come a little under pressure with Light E and got a skirt. Got a skirt starting in P5, remember. And had a good start and slips back a little bit. So, meanwhile, there's a battle out the back there with Maze and Maximus there. Maze gets up into P11. So, good job there for Maze getting up to P11 ahead of Maximus. Now he's got to chase down to the likes of Spike. And okay, meanwhile, getting the overtake done there on Damien B. I don't know if Damien B made a mistake there, but while that's going on there, Lighty overtakes on Siege, defending heavily. DRS is enabled. Siege hasn't got DNS, but meanwhile Spike going down the inside of turn 1. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. We've got a skirt there, but again, just a little very minor contact. Just gets away with it. No front wing damages or no spin-offs. Spike just got to be patient. He is on the hardest start going with the pace behind him. Just got by this time. Though you might have him down on this DRS straight here. Meanwhile, switching back to the battle here for P7. Light and Siege. Siege ain't unable to do anything for now. Spike got anything closer. Though we've got a skirt there, making little minor mistakes as we go up. Good right battle there going on. So Light E now on the threat with Siege. Siege should have now DRS on Light E. Light E looking very squirmous on exit there. Meanwhile, got keeping on 2 battles. They've got a battle for P7 and a battle for P9. Light E going very defensive there, keeping on the inside. Siege trying to go around the outside. Can he make the move stick? Siege done it. Siege has done it. Made a move around the outside on Light E there. Great driving there for Siege. And also Spike gets passed down on Goldskirt as well. Although Goldskirt still on the back on his rear ring. Is he going to make the move down the inside? Better thought of it. Spike now holds on to P9 here. Great driving there from 2 world champions of each season respectively. Getting the overtake done simultaneously on the same straight. Meanwhile, Fredo there goes a bit wide. And that opens the door there for Clifford. Clifford there with DRS. Is he going down to make the move down the inside? Can he make a stick? Fredo there keeps the move, defends his position for now, but beyond the threat of Clifford down the next straight, or even down into this hairpin section. Meanwhile, there's also got a battle here for P3 here. Meanwhile, we've got yellow flags in sector 2, sector 3. And we've got a guard there on the threat by Jay Ricketts. Jay Ricketts getting up into P3. And he's got the move covered. So Jay Ricketts has literally split the 2 Force India boys going up. And whilst we see the car going into pits there. And that is Fredo. And also Light E as well. 2 Ferrari boys are stacking up. No, this is a bad strategy call there for the Ferraris. No, the Ferrari boys are literally screwed themselves over on the strategy. No, that is a bad call there for the Ferraris. That is going to compromise their race badly. And this will promote a few drivers on the back of the grid up nicely there. Gosco getting a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, battle for P2. Jay Ricketts on the chase of Technique. And Jay Ricketts is looking very good on those set of ultras. Now the hypers won't last too long around this track, and I think Technique is starting to feel the bite on it already. As we see Hamilton there, nice gap ahead of him. But Jay now with his set of ultras will be kicking in nicely. Fredo meanwhile gets overtake done on Damien B there, so Fredo's got a lot of work to make up for. By a potential undercut. Technique on the threat by Jay. Technique made a mistake on the exit there. This will set Jay up nicely into P2. Can he get the move done in by turn 1? Yes, he does. Jay Ricketts literally gets the move done by turn 1. Nice job there for the Toro Rosso driver. Now he's got to chase down to Hamilton. If he can make the gap on him, especially on a set of ultras, he can go much longer further here. Whereas we've got Goloskirt there, left the session. Don't know if his disconnection again. But hopefully he can rejoin us back very soon. So Jay up into P2, Technique into P3. And this will promote other drivers up nearby if they can get up to close with Goloskirt's Ghost. Which you don't like to see. So Technique now starting to claw back a bit on Jay with Slipstream. The longer it stays up behind that warm air, the quicker the tire rate will wear out. So Technique will have 2 selections of DRS to use. Meanwhile, going on the battle here for P4. Clifford red on the back of Gort. Clifford going down the inside. He's got to move down on Gort. Yes, he does. So Clifford then gets up into P4 then. And also has another DRS to get himself away for sure. Technique still behind in P3 there. Although his back end looks a little bit happy now with his tyre wear going down. So Jay still maintaining position as we've got Ghost Car in the pits. That'll be more likely his Ghost Car. So then all dramas all going on across P2 into P7. Technique meanwhile still keeping the gap on his there to Jay. He's not letting him get away in his clutches. Though Jay on now pretty much better set tyres than Technique, so Technique there with a little lock up into turn 10 on the airpin. Back in starting to go a little bit more. But still have DRS. Jay going heavily defensive already. Is Technique going to get any chance, or is he going to peel off to the pits? No, Technique still going out as it stands at the moment, but longer he's out there on the set of hypers, quicker it'll degrade very quickly. Meanwhile, we've got the Gort into the pits in from P5. Now, what's the tyres like going to be like for Gort? He goes on a set of super softs then, aiming to get himself towards the end there. So keep an eye on Gort with his pace. Meanwhile, a little battle in the background there with Ollie P and Alan K there. Ollie P getting up into P13, Alan K down into 14th. Light E meanwhile gets a 3-second penalty for cutting corner. Now with the field just slowly starting to create a gap in the space for each other. So Hamilton out there at the moment in P1 there with a nice little lock up there for Hamilton to put on the show display. So Hamilton out there in P1 then, we've got Jay in P2, Technique in P3, Clifford in P4, Spike in P5, Siege in P6, Maximus in P7, Maze in P8, Fredo P9, the Gort in 10th. Light E and has gone up to P11, Damon B meanwhile goes into P12, Ollie P P13, Alan K 14th, and got a skirt in P15. Meanwhile, we have got cars in the pit lane. Hamilton's in the pits, putting a set of super softs along with Technique as well. So they're both aiming to go for the end. Meanwhile, Jay takes the P1 as it stands at the moment with Clifford Red not far behind him. Though, just got to keep an eye on this man here, Spike in P3. Not very far behind Clifford and Jay respectively, and on the slowest tyre going, on the hardest compound. So, Spike made a good possibility, may have a good strategy call to possibly take the race victory, starting on the hardest tyre going. Give and take the any incidents or any chance of safety car. Meanwhile, we've got Damien B in the pits. Coming out on a set of ultras, so he looks like guaranteed 2-stop for him. Technique then chasing down Fredo, and also the back of Fredo and Mays and Hamilton. No Technique on the brand new set of super softs. Fredo out on ultras. DRX is active there. We've also got to keep an eye on the battle at the front there, because obviously Mays as well getting caught up in this as well. Technique then on the back of Fredo, and also Fredo on the back of Mays. This is a big battle here for P7. Mays is under threat, but not by one car, but two. Both behind them made a pit stop. Mays yet still made a pit stop, yet starting out on those ultra softs. You can push it a little bit more further and have a tight advantage over these two near the end of the race. But going out towards the DRS zone now. Fredo right on the back of Mays' diffuser here. Technique just for in pursuit. Mays still holds on to P7 for now. Only amount of time was Alan K has retired. Alan K has retired. Whereabouts has he retired? That's crucial to where is Alan retired. And it's just round after turn 4. So that is very unfortunate there for Alan. Meanwhile, Fredo and Technique both made the overtake and they're both squadding over each other. Technique going down the inside of Fredo. Is he going to make the move stick? Technique makes the move stick and Fredo concede the position there. Whilst Fredo's still not giving up though, he's still going to make a charge. Technique then gets P7. Oh, goes a little bit deep there. That's why we invite Fredo back in again for potential sniff of P7 away from Technique. Technique now just heavily pushing his car, trying to create a gap as much as possible. No nose on the hardest tower going, but Fredo's on the softer compound to him. No, Technique now starts to pull away from Fredo, so Technique up to 7, Fredo in P8. Mays down to P9. Meanwhile, got a battle here going on. We've got the Gort and Mays. Mays starting to come under threat now from Gort. Probably sign of his tires going off maybe. Oh, Maze goes a little bit deep there, not in the hairpin, not what you want. But then he gets his exit perfectly as he wants to. Though the Got's now in his slipstream. This should be a slammed up move down the straight. Maze keeping to the left. Got going down the inside on the right. Get the move done for the chicane. Yeah, the Got makes the move done there. Easy peasy there on Maze. Got up into P9. Now he's got chased down to Freddo and Technique. Got then on the charge. He's got chased down to Freddo. Meanwhile, Freddo is also on a charge against Technique. Technique now stuck behind Maximus. Battle for P6 here. Williams driving now under pressure by 2 cars like Maze had. Clifford Red meanwhile gets a 3-second time penalty. Technique now going down the inside of Maximus there. Can he make the move done into turn 8? Heavy logs up into 8. Nearly almost cost the South running wide into turn 9. Gets the move done anyway. Freddo now on the threat of giving Maximus a threat. Freddo trying to go down the outside because he can do the switch back on him and on straight. Looks like potentially got the move switch back there done. Now it's a case of slipstream. Can he get the move done down the straight before the chicane? Maximus there going heavily defensive there with DRS helping him as well. There's a question of the late breakers there. Freddo there gets the move done just before the chicane there, crucially done. Clifford meanwhile is into the pits. Changed the front wing as well, so he's got picked up damage there on one of the walls, not what he wants. That's going to cost him time here for Clifford. But it goes out and serves Supers though, that should easily get him out to the end of the race. But with a lot of work to do on top, not what Clifford wanted. Oh, what was that with the collision in the background? That is Technique. Is that Technique? Yes, it is. Technique has spun it. Technique has spun it on the exit off turn 4 into turn 5. Now, crucial, can he get his car going without getting DQ'd? And Technique has decided to retire from the race. Unfortunate there from Technique. He was doing so well at the start. And obviously the mistakes cost him time and opted to call it a day there. So unlucky there for Technique there, unfortunately. Got meanwhile on the back of Maximus here. Trying now to push down the gap as much as possible to catch up with Freddo. Meanwhile, we've got Siege in the pits, but we're just currently watching this battle here for P6. Got going to make the move down the main straight first time round, but can he get down the second part? DRS is active for him, but not close enough, unfortunately. And Siege is now coming out to the pits. Now, with Siege, he can feed it into turn 2 as the nature of the exit here. And he slots in behind there with Clifford Red there, so Got then still on the back of Maximus here for battle for P5. Knowing he has to get a move on done soon. He's got a much younger tyre life than Maximus has. Maximus has been out there on 14 lap old tyres. Obviously now the window here is opportunity for anyone on the ultras. Got now going down the inside of Maximus there. Can he get the move stick? He's going around the outside. Can he make it move done? Maximus there just holds on for the meantime, although the guy has been traction. Oh, there's contact there and Maximus nearly lost the car, but great car control there. Lucky save there for Maximus there. Could have ended up both in tears. Scott meanwhile though gets up into P5 there. Meanwhile Jay is in the pits, coming out on track, and now is Hamilton and obviously Freddo as well. Gets out ahead of Freddo, so Jay is up into P3. Good strategy call there for Jay. Meanwhile Moses is into the pits there for Mercedes in P11 on set of super softs. That should be his one and only pit stop, so keep an eye on Moses on his results. Clifford then on the back of Lighty here, putting the young German on fire here. Lighty there going to back end happy there, not he wants. Clifford pushing him mighty hard, seeing where Lighty's weaknesses are. Is he going to make the move stun? Lighty going on the inside. Ooh, nearly almost cost more than 2 moves there, but gets away with it. Clifford though with brilliant traction there out of turn 9. Can he get the move done by turn 10 or even hang it around the outside? Lighty goes heavy defence on the inside. Almost heavy braking. Clifford going for the switchback there. It makes it stick. Clifford there with a switchback. Makes it stick up into P7. Good job there from the Sauber driver. And with DRS there, he should be able to break away as possible. Although Lighty's not giving up on it. Going into the chicane there. Lighty brought better off it. And Clifford now starts to make a breakaway there on Lighty. Siege in the background, not far away from this scrap either, so won't belong to Siege to be on the back of this little trio. Spike then out in P1 as it stands. Yet to make a pit stop. But knowing that he'll be on the quicker tyres once he makes the pit stop, so got to keep an eye on him for his lap times. Mays has left the session. Now, I do not know what happened to Mays. Maybe possible internet issues again. But hopefully he can rejoin us ASAP. I hope he does so. Despite meanwhile, picks up a 3-second time penalty for cutting that little section out of the last corner. Not what he wants. So with 17 lap old super softs, it won't be long for him to come into the pits. Meanwhile, got Freda into the pits. So, second pit stop there for the Ferrari boys. And there's another set of ultras there for Freda though, hoping that will get him to the end of the race. So, keep an eye on his progress there for Fredo. Clifford, meanwhile, is now on the back of Maximus here. Maximus still out on 17 lap old super softs. Should be too for long for Clifford to get through. Just got to bide his time. Ooh, and Clifford there hits the wall. And that looks like a free damage there on Clifford. Clifford hitting the wall again, damages his front left end plate. That's going to hamper his downforce a bit. Especially around the right hand turns where you want your downforce overall on the front. Maximus will probably know he's got wing damage, but still gets out of fight. Maximus there going down on the inside. Heavily defending there. Clifford's now just got to make the hard work deal with. And this will also bring in Lighty and also Siege into the fray as well. So we've got a massive trainer for P5 there. Which I said the trolley train in his effect. Clifford meanwhile goes down the inside of Maximus. Gets moved down before the chicane. And we've got Lighty now building up on the back as well of Maximus though. Maximus still not giving up on Clifford, knowing that he's got wing damage. Mays is now rejoined back in the session, so good to see Mays coming back into the session. Although Lighty now on the threat of Siege. With a mistake like that, this will open an opportunity for Siege. He's going to move down into turn 3. Not for now, he's got to ride his time, although lovely switchback there. Is he going to hang around the outside of turn 5? Looking again for another switchback. Siege has now just got to control himself and just keep himself by his time. Lighty's looking a bit squirmy on traction there. The sign of his tyres going off. Siege has now just got to hold himself on from now. Knowing there's a potential spot in P7 and beyond. Lighty's still going heavily defensive here. Knowing he's under threat by Siege. Again, Siege again with perfect traction coming out. And also brilliant cornering. And also Lighty now also coming on the back of Maximus here. Class J sets a 1 minute 11.6 as the fastest lap time. Whereas Lighty going to go down the inside. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he does. A little bit of compromise exit there. And that's going to open fight Maximus. And also Siege back in this as well. Free ride down the main straight. Maximus not down. A little bit of contact there. Ooh, and that's Maximus going off into the wall. Where has he gone? Oh, there's Maximus there. Luckily gets away with wing damage. That could have been vitally wrong there and gets a 3-second penalty. No fault of his own with a contact there with Lighty. Now I'm pretty sure the Shield will probably possibly look at that at the end of the race. But unfortunately there for Maximus, they're tangling up there with 3 wide. CJ makes most of the positions going on with the squabble, going up into P6 with Lighty into P7. Well, that's the case there. We've got a skirt there. Everyone going through. So then with the dramas going on. And meanwhile, Spike has now decided to come into the pits. see what the McLaren driver will put on instead of boots wise. Would be surprised if it's a set of Ultras. And it could have glitched there from Cody Masters, not seeing a proper pit stop here. And there's a set of Ultras there for a spike. That will last him surely to the end of the race. And also Company in P4 then with a gap going on. Clifford Red then comes into the pits, along with Lighty as well. So again, front wing changes there from Clifford and also Lighty as well. Maximus as well coming into the pits. So this is going to be okay to battle, and whilst Maximus then gets 5 second stop go, serves that nicely. Along with the front wing change, that's going to heavily dent his race here. So Maximus then coming back out on track. Very unfortunate for him, getting caught up with the tangle with Lighty. Meanwhile, Clifford's chasing down Lighty. Not far away, they're both on the same set of tyres and same set of lives. The question is how they both use it is a different matter. Whilst Damien B, meanwhile, is out on a set of Ultras. Hypersoft, sorry. So Damien V is the only one out there at the moment on the set of Hypersoft tyres now. That would be interesting. Though he is a lap down. And he's got to be careful not to influence the front two here, or they're not very far away from each other. Hopefully he gets out of the way quickly for blue flags, which he does nicely, so good job there from Damien. No point getting involved in the battle. Meanwhile, got a battle here for P3. Trinity got in Spike. Spike then not long coming into pits on a set of Ultras, even though it shows up as Super Softs, and Spike gets moved down into turn 10. Good job there for the McLaren driver. Now he's got to try and claw down the gap to the front two. Easy said and done. But if he's got the car and the pace underneath him, hopefully he won't take too long. He has got 13 laps in order to do so, so keep an eye on progress and anything can happen in this race. And to set up a good measure, Spike sets the fastest lap time on 1 minute 10.2. So, and only 10.7 seconds behind Jay. So keep an eye on this progress there for Spike. Fredo, meanwhile, chasing down on Siege here. Just over a second. Though Fredo on their softer compound, younger tyre life. Trying to make progress up as much as possible. While Siege, meanwhile, just got closest tyres to the end. Meanwhile, we've got a little squabble coming up at the front here. Got Hamilton versus Jay for the lead of the race here. Jay with younger tyre life and Hamilton. He's going to make a move down in the last section of the sector 3. Not for now, he's just got to hold on for now. He's got DRS though to get him closer. Hamilton there starting to go very defensive here. But for the meantime, just holds on for now. Jay right on the back of his diffuser here. Red Bull versus Toro Rosso, sisters at war in the terms of manufacturers. But Hamilton now is under threat by Jay. And he pretty much feels it here as well as Hamilton looks up here. That's not a good sign there. Jay nearly ended up going wide into turn 1. But gets away with it for now. Clifford Red meanwhile gets a 3 second penalty whilst I try and get a good camera view between these two. There we go. Now here we go, round 2 then of the squabble. Jay taking a very nice tidy line here and getting a good traction there. Now is he going to get the move done before the chicane section of the World of Champions? He's got DRS to help him. He's getting very close. Now where's he going to go? He's going to go down the outside. Hamilton defends the inside, locks up in the first part. Jay goes over the second part. May get away with a warning, but he don't want to be doing it all the time. And for now, Hamilton still just hangs on. 11 more laps to go. Hamilton on the threat here was Fredo and Siege. Fredo now on the back of Siege, eventually caught up to him. DRS is active. Now where's Fredo going to go? Is he going to make the move down into inside? Not for now. He still hangs on to the back of Siege here. Meanwhile, back into the battle here at the front. Hamilton just hangs on. Still under pressure from Jay. When Hamilton locks up here to Jay, and he goes into the back of Hamilton, but good awareness there between them two. Now with Hamilton lock up, that has invited Jay even much closer. This is an opportunity for a move for Jay for P1 of the Grand Prix. Jay now going down the outside. Is he going to make the move stick by the chicane? And he does. Jay goes round the outside of Hamilton just before the chicane. Jay now up into P1 there. It's a great job there from Jay versus Hamilton battle there. Whilst Damon B has retired. Oh, and we've got a safety car out on track now. This will open up the field nicely. We have got a safety car now out on track, and as Siege makes the lead on Fredo. Now, was that done on the safety car or was not? But for now, it seems to get away with it. Now, this will open up the field nicely for everyone to trigger into a pit stop. Fredo, meanwhile, gets a 5-second stop go for causing a collision with Siege. So that's going to dampen his hopes time-wise. So we've got the guy in the pits, Siege in the pits, Fredo in the pits. And this will open up the field nicely here. Safety car with lap 26. This will bring Spike back into play as well for P1. Clifford then gets up into P7, Lighty in P6. Siege in P7, slowing down a bit as well. Now, why is he slowing down? He had all the position here, but maybe gain a bit of time over the safety car and overtaking the car possibility. Don't know. Meanwhile, we've got Hamilton and Jay. Now it's crucial between these two sister teams. So he gets the job done first. Although the Red Bulls will be done first before the Toro Rosso, but Jay gets hold up there whilst Hamilton gets through nicely. Jay right behind him, and that's Spike in the background as well. Spike with a gap as well. Going on a set of hypers, so keep an eye on Spike. Be very feisty between these two. Question is, how long can he keep the performance up on them? So we are going to be in set for the close remainder of this race. 12 runners will be nicely bunched up in the field. Meanwhile, there is overtake going on. We've got Siege going up into P6, Fred in P7, Clifford into P8. Now what will the Sauber team do? It'll be a set of hypers. And out he goes there, Clifford then. So then we've got Hamilton, Jay, both on the cell, Ultras. Got to keep an eye on Spike with a set of hypers. Hyper's going to last so much longer, but the question is if Spike can hold on and make those tyres work to his treat to get the race victory. Now with the safety car predicting it to be in with lap 29, lap 30. So this will calm down the field nicely. Obviously once the safety car lights go out, Hamilton will be effectively the safety car itself, pacing the field. And the first safety car line, which we are just about to be approaching to, is roughly about where the safety car goes over now, just when the pit entry line feeding slip raid off. So once they go over that, it's all green light racing all from there. Now, wasn't expecting the safety car to call out. There was a chance of it, but not a high chance. We're expecting spectral. Whilst Jay goes round the outside under yellow flags there, naughty noisy, keeping the formation there, Jay. Cannot overtake while the safety car is out on track. Now with Anyone out there on the harder tyres, which are not, so the only hardest tyres all out there in the moment is Ultras. Ultras will easily get you to the end of the race, and also longer durability grip. Anyone on the hypers will have to work very quickly as soon as the lights, safety car is gone and the race is underway, because you only got a limited amount of grip on those hypers. So, and also crucial to keep your tyre temps all under control, along with the brakes. So Hamilton will be thinking now to, once the lights go out, prep his start and hoping nobody else behind him gets this gets a good start on him. Whilst the safety car is in this lap, Hamilton now is starting to back up the pack, as is practically the leading car, giving the gap to the safety car for him to bolt down the straight. Hamilton is thinking about going, whilst Light E there gets a 5-second stop go for a collision with the gut on the safety car. The safety car there still out on track. Hamilton now just back in the field. Jay getting ready alongside him, although overtook him. Now, where is Hamilton going to bolt? Is he going to bolt roughly now? And Richie does so. DRS is back on and enabled. I should say disabled, really, because you got to wait 2 laps. So the race is on the way then. Hamilton, Jay and Spike then. The top 3 so far. Jay again keeping right close with Hamilton. And Clifford Red, meanwhile, has retired into the pits. Or should I say, oh, in the pits, sorry. So, Clifford Ed had a good race. He had a good start. Meanwhile, we're just keeping focus here on the top 3 here. This is a very crucial battle here. All 2 on the same compounds. Jay meanwhile getting a great start of Hamilton. Going down the inside. Can he make the move stick down by turn 8? Looking promising. Oh, very close there. Jay had to slot back in very quickly though. Though, have to be very careful. He's got a spike behind him as well. So Hamilton again under fire. Jay goes in the back of Hamilton, and the front wing damage there on Jay. Not what he wants. That's going to be upset there for Jay. It's going to be damage in the repair, especially around the corner sections. So Jay though going down on the outside of Hamilton. Can he make the move stick? By the braking zone, side by side through the last section. Oh, nicely overtake there. Whilst Jay gets a 3-second time penalty, I wouldn't be surprised if he gives up the position for it. Spike now on the inside of Hamilton. Can Spike get the move done in turn 1? Hamilton goes deep, but Spike gets the move done. And Spike up into P2 there. Hamilton down into P3. He's now got the gut on the back of him as well. So Hamilton now has to make all the hard work again. Getting up into P1 with not many laps to go. Oh, we've got a little collision there with Spike and Hamilton. No, Spike and Hamilton, Spike and Clifford. No, Spike and Clifford, Spike and Jay. Whilst I get my words out, whilst commentating. Nice one, Steph. Anyway, carrying on. Looks like Spike's got wing damage. He looks like he's slowing down a little bit. He's now under threat by Hamilton. Going side by side in turn 10. Spike for now defends position. And that's a goal going down the inside of Hamilton. Has he got the move stick? Not for now. Hamilton meanwhile holds on to position for now. Spike gets away with it. Now again on the charge with Jay, and we got kind of a car, big trolley train here behind Hamilton onwards. The likes of Hamilton, got Siege, Lighty, Fredo as well. All in the battle there for P3. DRS is now enabled. Now this will be a question now who will make the move and overtakes. Everyone out on hypers have to make the moves done very quickly. Spike making good work on them so far. Keeping Jay under pressure here. We're also going through the area shots with the trees. Can't see much going on track until about roughly now. Ooh, fairly close in the gap wise here. Meanwhile, Got and Siege here. Getting very close here. And Spike gets a move done on Jay here. Spike gets a move done on Jay before turn 8. A nicely moved there for Spike, although now he's going to be on the back foot here because he's got to defend heavily. Spike locks up heavily. Hamilton goes on the inside of Jay here. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he does for now. Spike now, he's under more threat now. He's got 2 cars literally behind him on Ultras. Spike has to be careful with his lines where he's going to go. Spike goes defensive. Jay has to go down the outside. Hamilton going down the inside. It's going to be free wide into the last section. Not the best call. and Hamilton backs out, and he loses the position there to Gort there. Hamilton down into P4. Now, could this be potential P5 as well? He's going down too. He has got Siege coming up behind him, going side by side in turn 1. Can he make the move stick? Hamilton again just hangs on for now. Siege hanging out for dry. Lighty trying to sniff out the inside, but he gets away with it for now. Gort though picking up nicely there from the squabble going on, going up into P3. Now on the back of Jay. Jay with wing damage though, quite heavily though. So Jay getting wing damage there. Gort now looking for a move. Easy slap dog. Oh, nearly contact there. Nearly Jay lost his car. Then Gort off into P2. Hamilton goes up into P3 as well. Jay's mistake. So Jay's starting to fall back in the field. While these two are going to have a song said, Jay takes to escape road here. Will nearly collects Siege in the process, coming back on track. Also with Light E as well. This is absolute drama here for the last 3 remaining of the place here. Light E going down the inside of Siege and inside of Jay. Can he get the move done? Looks like he has. Looks like he has. He's although 3 wide at the moment as it stands. Both wheel to wheel combat here. And now this is going to be ending tears if they don't sort it out quickly. And they're both going to end side by side with each other. Although Fredo now coming up as well. Ooh, and Jay goes off wide and Siege should be able to take the opportunity there. And Richie does, so Siege is up into P4, Jay now into P5, he's now got Ferraris behind him. Squabbling out as well. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there with Jay. Lighty hanging around the outside there, though Jay has got wing damage, so it should hopefully not take too long. Squabbling out in between. And they're both Ferrari boys. Oh, there's a complete front ring gone. That is presuming Jay's front ring's gone. Yes, it has. Oh, and he's collected up Lighty as well. He's collected up Light E and Fredo takes the opportunity and Light E's out of the race. Oh, that is unfortunate there. Unfortunate incident to happen there. Fredo just gets away with not getting caught up in that incident. Meanwhile, back into the battle here, P2. Hamilton now literally attacking the Gort. Gort hanging on for now. Siege is not far behind this battle. These two keep squabbling like this. It might be on a potential podium here. But Spike though, neither way by 2.2 seconds so far. Hamilton meanwhile goes down the inside of Gort. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he does with a lock up. He gets away with it. Now Hamilton back up into P2 with DRS. And we're on to lap 34. Light E meanwhile leaves the session unfortunately. I'm sure he won't be happy with what just happened. So Hamilton now has to chase down Spike. He has got the tyre compounds to do so. And he is closing up that gap very quickly onto Spike. So we keep an eye on that little battle there going on. Maximus and Ollie then. Battle P6. Maximus slowly to wheel in Ollie. But it depends on how long his tyre goes. And while Siege meanwhile gets a 3-second time penalty. That ain't going to help him any favours. Although he'll start focusing towards the front in a minute because looks like Hamilton is on a mighty charge here. Meanwhile, Maximus not far away from Ollie P here in DRS range. No, he's going to get close enough for another second bite of the cherry in a minute. Meanwhile, we've got the battle here on the last lap as well. Maximus does get a 3-second time penalty. Lap 35, second in it between Spike and Hamilton. How long can Spike hang on out on P1 for? Nona is under pressure by Hamilton. Got not far away in P3. Hamilton getting mighty close here. Handy to have that DRS zone handy there. Oh, Hamilton there goes a bit deep. That could be his only chance there going against Spike. Spike can get away and push on the gap as much as possible. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack behind him are fairly close to squabbling. Fredo and Siege under a second. Hamilton though gaining back very quickly, but it might be a bit too late there for Hamilton. So Spike then on course, and definitely now on course to win the Canadian Grand Prix, providing Hamilton hasn't got any penalties. Then Spike comes along in P1, which then becomes Hamilton gets P1 because of penalties. So Spike then finishes in P2, got in P3. CJ in P4, and we've got Fred in P5 there. Ollie in P6, Maximus in P7. We've got Maze in P8 and Damien in P9, maybe. I don't know if it's in P9, but I'll find out in a minute. But Maze up into P6 though. But your race winner after penalties is Hamilton. So my word, after that exciting last end of the race for the safety car helping out. So here's your top three then. We've got the guy in P3, Spike there in P2, but your race winner after penalties is Hamilton. My oh my, I wasn't expecting that for the end of the race, having a safety car to spice it all up even more. What a great entertainment for the Canadian Grand Prix. So then, as I just wait for standings to come up, I don't need to worry about that bit. So then, Hamilton there in P1 with Spike in P2, Gorton there in P3, Siege in P4, Fred there in P5, Maze there in P6, Ollie P in P7, Maximus P8, got a skirt who was ghosted in P9 and doesn't score any points. Lighty P10 retired, unfortunately, so did Jay, and so did Clifford, so did Damien, Technique, and Alan K. My oh my, what a great result there for good racing there. And I am tied between two drivers there for a driver of the day. But driver of the day I'll choose for will be Spike there. Good strategy call there, and also great battle, and also especially with the battle at the front. But great race by everyone else though. As well, having a great battles, especially near the end of the race. Literally, anyone got a spare set of lungs and heart, that'd be nice. Whew. Wasn't expecting that for the end of the race. Right then, just obviously wait for everyone just to settle down and calm down, and hopefully bring him in for interviews. But if you get your top three there for the race, congratulations to you all. Or just literally, if anyone got any questions there for interviews, get them in very quickly, because I'm going to be starting the interviews in about a minute's time. Looking through the chat now with everyone going on. Just literally, everyone's gone mad for the race, all go with the hype, so literally is a great race for everyone, so right, let's see if we can get people in for interviews and see who would like to join me in the Amber Lounge.
XR includes 20 gigabytes of data bonus. Data bonus. And that's weird, there's no upfront fee on that, but there is on the thingy. You want it, isn't it?
Right then, so we'll just literally just wait for anyone to join into the little party or into my little lounge. At the moment, got no one joining me so far, whilst literally everyone's all gone mad and hype in the actual comments on the TTFL chat. I hope someone joins into the comment box. I'd like to hear the reactions from everybody. And here we go. We've got our first person into the to be interviewed is Hamilton. Hamilton, how are you?
How are you, buddy? I'm fine. Thank you.
Good. But good qualifying there from you, getting P1 on quali, and also the race as well. Tell us all through it.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't get a good lap in quali, but still it was P1, so I was thankful to start in P1. And the start was okay. I had a good gap at the first stint, but then Jakey Tag, I don't know what's his name.
Oh, Jay Ricketts. Yeah, Jay Ricketts.
Yeah. So he started on ultras. So and I think he pitted like 6-7 laps after me. So he had a quite fresh rubber and super soft. So he caught me. And then the safety car came. I don't know how Jay got to the pit because he was in front of me and he clearly didn't pit. So I don't know what happened there.
So I'm not sure what happened, but it was obviously between you two coming in the pits. Obviously, don't know how the overtake happened. Maybe within the lines of coming in. But then after like the safety car, obviously you and Jay on the same set of tyres, and you obviously had threat of Spike as well on the hypers behind you in P3. Tell us through that bit at the end of the race, because that was very hectic.
It was a hell, you know. The last 6 laps it was a hell. I got a good start after the safety car, you know. But then Jay got me again. He was so aggressive, you know, through the chicane. If I insisted, we would both go to the wall. That's for sure. So then I lost the position to Jay and to Spike and then to the Gort. So, but then I saw Jay hitting the wall. So, and then I got the Gort, and I was in P2. And Jeff told me that Spike had 6-second penalty. So, and I was one warning away from another penalty, which I would have been to 6 seconds. So I didn't want to risk it at the end. Also, I could have caught Spike and give it a shot at the last straight, but I didn't want to risk it, you know.
You just playing the conservative ball, just literally just conserve yourself to try and make the difference, catch down the Spike as much as possible, and not lose any more time in penalties.
Yeah. I was catching him so fast, you know. I guess like 1 second at the end. But I went wide in the second chicane, and I didn't want to get another penalty, so I didn't want to risk it. I knew I had only 3 seconds, and he wouldn't got 6 seconds and a half a lap, you know.
But good drive
so
there.
I was happy at the end. Yeah.
But good drive out there today. Literally, everyone remained on the track, which great racing all throughout. And obviously, especially the battle.
I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, put it this way. I was just literally needed like a pair of longs and a set of hearts after that one. But no, then obviously good win out there in Canada. Then so next track we go to, which I believe is in France. How do you see your hopes around France?
I don't know yet. I didn't do a single lap, believe it or not. So, but I will give it all I can. You know, I think I'm back in the championship, so that's good.
Indeed.
And let's see how it's going to be in France.
So then, obviously, see how it is in France. Then, if I give you like a target, what target would you predict yourself? Obviously, like in top 5, or just roughly in the points in general?
No, I think top 3. Mainly, I want to win. But you can't win them all, you know. But the target is always to win.
Target's to win, but you'd be happy with top 3 if possible.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Good man, good man. Well, congratulations out there on your win today, Hamilton, and hopefully
Thank you.
we will catch you in the next Grand Prix, Paul Ricard.
Yeah, see you then. Thank you, man.
See you there. You're welcome.
Bye.
Take care, Hamilton. Take care.
Thank you.
So then, we move to the next person in. We've got is Spike. Spike, how are you, sir?
I'm alright, mate. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, thank you very much. You had a good qualifying starting near the end of the top 10 there, but you started with super soft tyres.
Yep.
And then obviously you go through the race. What's your strategy and your race motion for race 3? Tell us all about it.
So I started trying to stay out of trouble at the start. It's reasonably quiet, you know, just trying to avoid contact with anybody else, really. First stint was reasonable. I mean, I didn't really do a lot of overtaking. It was just people pitting in front of me, obviously. And then I probably stayed out a lap too long, really, with the supers. But obviously, once I put the ultras on, they were good. And I was past the Gort, and then I was catching the two ahead, but no idea whether I caught them or not. I was quite happy with third, you know. I was sort of thinking of the championship, really. And obviously then the safety car, and I literally just passed the pit lane, which is slightly annoying, but at least with the Delta, it does sort of keep everyone in the same position, sort of. And then I come out on the hypers expecting everyone to have a fresh set of hypers, and then I suddenly remembered that probably everyone's used their hypers in quali, and I was the only one to have a fresh set. So I had a fresh set of hypers with, what was it, 7 laps once the safety car pitted. And then I was reasonably confident. I thought, you know, as long as I knew I had penalties, so I was going to see where it led to. And first lap, I realised I had quite a lot more grip than the two ahead of me. And then I don't know what happened to Jay. He lost his head. Bit of a destruction derby from him, really, at the end. He crashed in the back of Hamilton into the hairpin, broke his wing. And then he got past Hamilton down the straight, and then whichever lap it was next lap or not, turn, was it 6, coming out the right hander, he dropped it and drove into my drove into my car and broke my front wing, which was rather annoying. I was calling him several names under the sun at that point. And I thought, well, that's race over. You know, it was the orange front wings. So, oh god, you know, that's not good at all. But it was okay. And then, but obviously, at the end of the stint, the tyres were dead because I had no front wing. So I couldn't hold Hamilton at the end there. And obviously, in the laps before, I had the tyre grip, but I couldn't exploit it because I had no front downforce, unfortunately.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But now, with the last few minutes of the lap of the Grand Prix, they're going on a fresh set of hypersofts. It's just like you're putting major pressure on the front too, and making some good great overtakes on them. But obviously, also turned out to be a little bit of the destruction derby. But then
it was very much destruction derby. I don't know about the first incident between him and Hamilton. I sort of saw it, but I was just really concentrated on my own car at that point. But then after that, he just, I don't know. I don't know. I gave him. I watched him understeer. So I thought, okay, I'll pull the car to the inside. I left him the entire track, and he still managed to drop it, slide across the track, and run into me.
That is
yeah. I mean, he retired in the end, so I'm not going to bother. It's not worth sticking it in. But you know, obviously, it arguably cost me the win. Obviously, I had 3 seconds extra penalties, but obviously in that stint with a front wing, I would have been able to do fastest laps. But whereas my pace was only 10.4s or whatever it was, which is not quicker than I was on the ultras.
But still though, finishing P2 though, that's a good result. Starting from P9.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So then with the next track we're coming up to into the French Grand Prix, then it's Paul Ricard. How do you feel your hopes going there?
The test track.
The test track, as everyone likes to call it, yes.
It certainly is a test track. I don't mind it, it's alright. We'll see.
Where do you set your targets on?
Well, the target's got to be to go for a win, isn't it?
So you're going to go for the same as Hamilton, go for the win?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Hamilton's quick. They're all quick drivers. Just obviously Jay had done the ultra to super soft. I believe Hamilton was on hypers at the start. I'm not sure, but he had better tyre life at the end, obviously. That's why he caught him. And then obviously under the safety car, I don't know whether he was in a particular rush to get past. Probably because under pressure from, like you say, perhaps because of the fact I was on the hypers. So I don't know, but he just I don't know. He didn't need to go for that. And then after that, yeah, he should have just. I'm not saying he should have just just let people through, but do you know what I mean? It's like you've got a damaged front wing on, and the car behind you's got fresh, softer tyres than you with no damaged front wing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get you. But yeah, he just dropped it, unfortunately. Anyway, yeah, but France, yeah, it'll be close again.
We'll
It's
definitely be looking forward to that around the old test track of Paul Ricard. So hopefully,
Exactly.
I hope you join us there for that one next week then, Spoke.
Yes, hopefully, yeah.
Fingers crossed then we see you there in the front. Good job there in P2. And I hope you see you then.
Cheers for that. See you later, mate.
No worries, take care, buddy.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So then I do not think I've got anyone else in for potential interview. No, I haven't. So therefore, I am going to end up wrapping up the stream here. So then with CSR Hamilton then getting P1, Spike in P2 and got in P3 after a hectic restart underneath the safety car. And obviously everyone going mad for the top 3 spot. But Spike and Gort and Hamilton all venture through, they're getting the top 3 spot. Congratulations all to them and also to the drivers as well taking part. So then the next track then will be next Friday. We'll be live 8 o'clock as always, and I will be in the box for that one for sure. We'll be live in front, same usual time, 8 PM, so don't miss that. On Sunday we have got the TTL F2. Making a commentary debut will be Jake Mia, so it would be great to hear him on the voice of the TTL family community to do commentary as well for the TTL F2. Also on Tuesday and Thursday, back in the box again with Mr. One and Only Kieran McGinley. Commentary on Belgium for Tuesday, live at 8 PM, and also on Thursday as well at 8 PM. It will be in Monza. So, till then, thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure as always to see everyone there having comments and watching TTFL and also our other channel, other racing leagues as well. Till then, till next Friday, I've been Steph. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon next Friday. Till then, take care, see you soon, and bye bye.